Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here. Welcome to another person vlog here. We're up to number 49 here, and this might be a Captain Obvious one, but maybe I'll explain why I'm a sports fan. I mean, obviously if you watch my YouTube channel here, mostly I cover Calgary sports here, and you gotta be a sports fan to be able to make this your primary focus of your YouTube channel here. But pretty much you almost gotta say, well, I'm a sports fan. And I mean, obviously I love sports, but unfortunately I wasn't really that athletic to play much in sports, and maybe I also wasn't someone who liked to take many risks and afraid to get hurt growing up here. But basically it's definitely fun to watch sports, and here in Calgary here we definitely have a selection of sports teams to follow here, and also, you know, definitely some personal pride, and shows some personal pride when your teams are doing great and winning some championships in different levels of sports, and also you know, pride when you're beating your rivals, especially up the QE2 in Edmonton there, for example, or other rivalries we built, like with Vancouver, especially in hockey, and Saskatchewan in CFL, and maybe you can start with lacrosse here. But definitely, you know, definitely big thing is on showing your civic pride for your city here. And fortunately in Calgary here we got one of the big four sports in the NHL here with the Calgary Flames here, and I definitely would follow along a lot more some of the other sports if we had them. I mean, personally, I've had season tickets for the Calgary Stampeders since 1997, and this is my 23rd season of being season ticket holder with the Calgary Stampeders, and been to 6 Grey Cups, and this year be number 7 with the big game being right here in Calgary, and then I will be entering my second season as a Calgary Roughnecks season ticket holder. And I'm going to say lacrosse definitely appeals here. I mean, it's definitely growing where it definitely is a kind of a combination of hockey and football put together there, and once again another chance to show your civic pride. And you know, it's definitely my form of entertainment, and preferred mode of entertainment. Definitely spend a lot more money on going to sporting events than going to movies here. Personally, it's been years since I've been to a movie, and I'd just say there's been too many rehash sequels or superhero movies that I've seen, and a few times I say, oh, this will look good if I was 10 again, but it's hard to keep up with all this trends and that. And the beauty of being a sports fan is every time you go to a game, I mean, there's always twists and turns, and there's always something different here, and upsets do happen. And you could say the case with the Calgary Flames, even though we had the best regular season in a generation for the 2018-19 season and had the top seed in the Western Conference here. Fortunately, we definitely got upset by the second wildcard team in the Colorado Avalanche here, but you know, they might have been a team that might have underachieved all season, and they're definitely looking like a team that is going to better that this upcoming season. So I mean, I definitely, you know, some people go, you know, to emotional movies and emotional soap operas there, but I definitely say I can relive those same emotions as a sports fan here. I mean, obviously I've enjoyed jubilation of going to a couple Grey Cups where the Calgary Stampeders won it, and it's even better when you watch your team win it live there. And I also was at one Grey Cup where sadly the Calgary Stampeders were on the wrong end of it. If you remember the 2017 Grey Cup in Ottawa there, where we lost in the last couple of minutes in the snow there against Toronto. And I've also was watching at the bar there where we lost in overtime the year before. So I definitely gone through some heartbreak too, and being a Calgary Flames fan, I mean, I do have some faint memories of Calgary winning the Stanley Cup in 1989, and right now up to this recording, it's been their one and only championship. And growing up in the 90s there, we had some good teams in the early first half of the 1990s there. It was definitely tough to be a Flames fan there. So you definitely had a lot of first round heartbreak, which I'm going to say this knockout that the Flames had with Colorado this past season brought back those familiar feelings of being the favorite team but getting knocked out there, and then gradually we declined from the team that won the Stanley Cup in 1989, and then hung in there, and I definitely took my lumps there when we weren't good there, but then that made the 2004 run pretty good for the Calgary Flames, where we finally got into the playoffs there and won that emotional series against Vancouver there, and I was excited jubilation where finally we were on the right end of the first round series and won it in dramatic fashion in overtime there. Thank you very much, Martin Jalnas. And next thing you know, we knocked off Detroit, knocked off San Jose, and here we are playing for the Stanley Cup in 2004. And civic pride definitely peaked big time that spring there. The whole city was all united and all in red there, and definitely you saw the car flags there, and unfortunately we were on the wrong end of the Stanley Cup there, but it was still definitely, that team definitely made the city proud, and we've been chasing that since then. Believe it or not, that's been over 15 years now. It would be at least 16 years when you count the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs. If the Flames don't win the Cup, or at least get to the final there, it tells you how long it's been. And even then, as a Stampeder fan, I've been to some first or Western Final heartbreaks too, where, I mean, I do remember 1994, and it was minus 20 outside, and McManus threw that pass to Darren Flutie there, last play in the quarter there, and we lost that game after missing field goals in fourth quarter there. That could have put us to win and go into the Grey Cup that year. And then, of course, we lost a few tough Western Finals there in the 2010s here against Saskatchewan there. So yeah, I definitely lived through the jubilation and heartbreak there, but you're always chasing that high for the championship. And maybe this is kind of I don't know if you could say this is a good or a bad analogy, but being a sports fan is like, trying to always chase that girl that you love or you like, and then she always breaks your heart, but then there's times she comes back and you keep coming back, and you get further with her, and hopefully maybe one day, you'll finally win with her. That's kind of like that. That's kind of my analogy there. Well, I mean, a sports fan, but then, it's also what the teams do in the community there, and all of our players, hockey players. It's a lot harder for the hockey players just because they're in a higher profile there, but it's still awesome. I mean, as a kid, you're thinking these guys are gods, and then you get to my age, and now I'm at that age where all the players I idolize and now are starting to be half my age, but then you realize, man, they're just a person like me, except they just happen to be very good at playing sports. And fortunately, things just didn't work out for this guy, and has a white collar job at at a engineering firm, which some athletes don't transition well into after the game, and they seem to fall flat on their face. But it'd definitely be nice if I was fortunate enough to have that kind of lifestyle and be more financially set than most of us are. But getting back to, as I say, that's why I'm a sports fan here. I mean, the big one's just showing your civic pride and show how proud your team are, represent your city, and I definitely feel that obligation when it's Grey Cup, for example, and it's a party where many fans from all their teams gather where the big game is, and I wear my red regardless if Calgary's playing or not, but I definitely do feel some obligation that I'm representing Calgary. I want to put my best face on when I do that, just so that, you know, when people come here, they know we're a great city here. And that's why I still say what's great about being a sports fan here. So anyway, if you enjoy everything I do on my YouTube channel, just make sure you hit like and subscribe and follow along here. And as I say, I'll see you in the next video. Go Flames, go Stamps, go Calgary.